Public service announcement. No member in this group has or ever supported slavery or indentured servitude. Have a
Welcome to Evening News. I'm George Stephanopoulos, representing you, the people of Camden. In local news, HHS Principal Karen Biggett approved plans to install even more stereo speakers in the school, which sparked controversy considering the fact that nobody currently uses them. In national news, Mexico threatened to declare war on the U.S., citing the mistreatment of Mexican immigrants on U.S. soil. The Department of Defense written off these allegations as unnecessary and are not afraid of the Mexican threat. Now a word from our sponsors.
In the arms of an angel, fly away.
This is Abolitionists for America. I'm Josh Jay, the CEO. You can see here Kareem Abdul, poor and unfortunate slave. With your $5 donation, you will get a free picture of your slave every month to see how he is doing. So please, call 1-800-SLAVES-FOR-YOU to make a donation to this poor slave, Kareem Abdul. And WHIP is not included.
Welcome back. We have troubling reports that I've just received word from my producer about breaking news from Washington, D.C. The Compromise of 1850 was just signed. And now a live report from Washington, D.C. from Asian correspondent Ching Chong Chu-Hua.
大家好，我的名字是张小强，你的妈妈有一个鸡鸡。Reporting live for Channel 34.5 News. Here in front of the Capitol building, it is a madhouse. Slavery has just been abolished in Washington, D.C. Oh, well, let's ask this nice young gentleman what he thinks about this new act.
I think it's definitely a step forward, especially for the abolitionist movement.
Okay, thank you.
And I think it's really a great way to start. It's a step in the right direction, is what I'm trying to say. And the Compromise of 1850, everything within it, it's really great. I think every aspect of it is wonderful, especially abolishing slavery in Washington D.C.
That's very good. Excuse me, sir. What do you think about the creation of New Free State, California?
The creation of a free state, New California. Well, that's also once again a wonderful step, especially for the North. As us being strong abolitionist supporters, and I think that's wonderful as well.
Mm-hmm.
California, anything that's adding on to the amount of anti-slave states, it's going to be a great, it's a great addition to our country and strengthening our country.
To provide the viewers with a better background of the issue of slavery, as addressed in the Compromise of 1850, this newscast will be cutting away to snippets of the famous documentary, A Slave's Life.
My name is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a 24-year-old slave working in Mississippi. Each day, I toil and labor, picking cotton and doing other various tasks for my brutal master who whips and beats me each and every day. I've recently found word from my family in the District of Columbia who have been freed because of the Compromise of 1850. However, I still remain a slave in the South. I'm trapped.
Welcome back, Camden. Today we welcome a very special guest, Rasheed Wallace. He is the author of the critically acclaimed novel Slavery in the West. Rasheed, welcome to the show. Now, we have a few questions for you today, Rasheed. First and foremost, do you think slavery is wrong? Now, we've all known of these Southern extremists who argue that slaves actually have a better life than the working class immigrants who currently struggle. What are your views on this?
It's just the extremists that believe this, and I believe that it's not fair to treat people this way, where each individual is treated as a lesser being just for the color of their skin or their religion they follow. It's just not right.
Can you please explain to the public just exactly what this compromise, this legislation is?
Now, the compromise had several different parts that made it the Compromise of 1850. Personally, the North came out on top as they received California as a free state. The full entire state was California. Texas relinquished their land above the Missouri Compromise line, and they decided not to go into New Mexico and other Mexican territory founded after the Mexican-American War. As a result, though, the South, the only thing they really got was a stronger fugitive slave law where slaves, if they run away, they have to return, and also they have much less say in court and what their actual affairs are in their life. Washington, oh yeah, they also, they became an anti-slavery state. No slavery, it was completely abolished, which is great. I think it's a great development for the future of our country. It's a step. It's not big of a step as I would like, but...
In your predictions outlined in your book, you believe that legislations like the Compromise of 1850 will just add to the woes already facing slaves around the nation. What info do you have that condones these predictions?
Personally, I think any intelligent man, such as myself, can see why. See, George, you understand. You know,
I understand.
You know what we're talking
completely.
about. So any intelligent man can see that we are coming to a crossroads at some point where we're going to have to go one way or the other. Either, firstly, I hope against slavery because it's definitely not right. It does not follow the original goals of the Constitution, even if they were hypocritical when they wrote it. But I think that we need to head towards one direction and stay in that direction because these compromises will not help us in any way. It will just put the problem. I don't want my children living in a world. My children living in a world with just pure hate for other people. It's just not right.
Exactly. There you have it, America.
I'm George.
I'm George Stephanopoulos. We'll see you back after the break.
Here I attempt to run away from my slave master. However, the Compromise of 1850 was far from perfect. A more stringent fugitive slave law has been passed, holding me tight within the chains of slavery once again. My life is far from perfect.